Hey guys, it is Mel from Mel Ryan 100% You, just jumping on for our weekly update. I have seen clients this week, but I did just come back from a retreat all weekend with the most amazing bunch of women. And we had such a beautiful connective experience. I think what surprises me over the weekend so much is watching people's faces change. I know that sounds really weird, but we come in holding so much stress without realizing that we're there and trying to be everyone's version of us, and we lose that connection with ourselves. Obviously, that's why this retreat that come back to you is so important. And as people realize, things shift and they learn things. We go through in this retreat, it's like what's your childhood, and then we pull out the feeling that we connected with in childhood, and then we go through the unlearning what we've learned in the way of feeling selfish, or the way respect was instilled in us in a way that we lose ourselves and we don't make teams. Someone wins, someone loses in relationships, all of that. So we really unpack things. That's, Life Unpacked with Mel. We really unpack things, particularly your story and the blocks that happen with you, why you have the blocks, where they came from, and most importantly, why we keep them. And by being able to unpack something so thoroughly, you see things from a totally new perspective. And in fact, you then can see your story and understand your story in a way that you never have before. So it's really important when we go through in the retreat having the space to do this. And then when we start putting things back together, we really work on check ins and then empowered choices. So it comes from what feels right for you and knowing your story and knowing why we do the things we do and how we try to look to get the feelings that we want outside in, I call it, from other people and things rather than from ourselves. So it really resets all that to give you the power to be able to support yourself totally, that you won't abandon yourself again. And there's that shift, that knowing that you're not going to abandon yourself is what I find so beautiful, because it's so locked in by the end of the weekend or the end of the retreat. So that said, I am going to run two more retreats between this year and next year. One of them is going to be overseas, and one of them will be another retreat in Melbourne. So if you are interested in coming to unpack your story with me in a retreat, and either of those give you a little buzz, send me a DM. There'll be a wait list because I only take a few people at a time, because it's really important for me to be able to hold the space for each of you properly. So that shift is really perfectly aligned with you, and you're really coming back to you in that transformation space. So you're really supported. So that's super important to me. So message me if you think that you are interested in that, because I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. I also did see clients this week, and what is coming up this week, and of course, because we've come off retreat, we've had winter solstice, so there's a real shift, is people really trying to dig down and find what the message is behind the experience. So people have come in with experiences that they're like, why would this happen to me? Like, I don't really understand what's going on. And when we step out, as we do, to then reframe it and look at it, what it really means, like why that is part of the thread of what's going on for you, or the message behind the situation, or the message behind your emotional experience that you're having, two people who are in the situation, and we really put that back together, it is freeing because it makes sense of things that didn't make sense. And I think that's really important. Sometimes the reason why we can't pull that apart by ourselves, and for a few people this week, is because we fall into the roles that we do. So you've got the mum role, or the dad role, or parenting role, or the sibling role, or whichever role that you're actually stuck in without realizing. And so our ability to hear what the truth is, big picture wise, even for us, disappears, and we're more concerned on making sure it's okay for them. And while that's such a beautiful part of being a mum and being a partner or being a friend or a dad, we sometimes then distract ourselves from listening to what is right, and then we overthink it, and then we confuse it, and then we run around trying to get the feeling that we can connect with, that does feel right, without looking in the places that are the truth. So it's being able to realize that people picked in that big picture way being connected to you, sometimes because you're going to take them on a journey that might expand their thinking or their awareness or their experience in a way that they weren't going to have. And when we come back to the real truth of what feels right for us, sometimes that is a beautiful part of showing people something different. And so it's being able to connect with also that sitting well and being okay. And when you feel into that real essence of what does sit well, there's a piece in that. And that piece is undeniable. When we start to help that become part of our stories, it helps us be able to support not only ourselves, but other people in a much stronger and better way than we thought we could. So, they're my little messages for this week. Let me know if you're interested in a retreat course. I'll add you to the list. So, that's it from me this week. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will catch you all next week.